Today I'm creating with the October 2018 sampler from Scrapbook and Cards Today. The first thing you'll notice when you open your sampler is this card that has a cute phrase on the front and includes a full list of what you're receiving. These are the Tailored Expressions Watercolor Panel Sampler Pack, and they include pre-printed watercolor paper, little tags, perfect for cards or project life. Really fun. Then we have some pieces from the Crate Paper Willow Lane collection, this awesome envelope here, some pattern papers that are all cut to 6" by 6". I just love these, so pretty. I love the color combinations. And then we also have the Bella Boulevard Sweet and Spooky collection pattern papers here. Some really fun patterns. And that's the reason why I wanted to create a Halloween layout today. Next up is the Heidi Swapp Emerson Clear stamps. I definitely will be using those on my layout. And the Lawn Fawn Merry Christmas border die. These are some of the ephemera from the Bella Boulevard Sweet and Spooky collection. There's an exclusive word from Scrapbook and Cards, some Crate Paper Willow Lane ephemera, and I love those little heart hugs from Bella Boulevard. And there's also the Bella Boulevard word salad stickers there. So let's take a look at what I'm going to create with the October sampler. So what I'm doing here is just kind of starting to layer. I love that envelope. I have to use it, and I think it will be great for adding journaling or additional photos. Now, I really love that plaid pattern from the Willow Lane collection in the background, and what I'm going to do is split it in half to use one piece on the top and one piece on the bottom so that it appears as though it's one long big piece of pattern paper. So remember when you're working with these 6" by 6" pieces of paper to think of ways to stretch them. I'm going with purple and orange on this layout. It's a classic Halloween combination. I really like that yellow, and that could work too, but I think I'm going to stick with orange here. So that orange and black and purple is going to look really fantastic there, and I'm kind of centering all of my layers on my 8.5" by 11" page with the photo on top. Now I want to add some different texture to the sides of my pattern papers. So I am just border punching the edges really quickly here. This is a super fast layout. I did speed up the video just so that it didn't take you so long to watch it, but it really was a 30-minute layout, and that's what I love about this sampler is that you get products that don't necessarily go together. It's not meant to be a kit, it's meant to be a box of goodies to try out, but they do go together, and you can actually find ways to combine them that will stretch your creativity, and that's what I love about it. So I'm just starting to add little embellishments here and there. I really love that tag, and I want to place it in one of the corners of my layout. So I'm going to do the bottom left hand corner. There's a tab there. This magic word has got to be my title. I'm just trying to figure out exactly where to place it. I love that it's sparkly too. It's so much fun. If you're creating a Halloween layout with this sampler, this is definitely part of your title. I love this So Much Candy, but I think that if I put it here on the front, it will be a bit too distracting with the word magic, so I'm going to try to do something else with it. Just playing around with the placement of my tag. I feel like it's too heavy there under the word magic. It definitely fits best in that lower left hand corner. Okay, so I saw these kind of pennant with phrases in the center, and I thought, oh, that'll be perfect for a title. So I'm going to cut out the remember this one and add that to the word magic. So my title will be Remember This Magic. And I'm just going to kind of place that right above the word magic. I don't really like that sitting on the edge of my white cardstock. I'm going to push it over to the edge of the plaid pattern paper there. Nothing is really reaching over to the edge of my white cardstock. I'm just going to push up my layers a bit so that I have more room for my title. For this little tag, think of ways that you can stretch the contents in your sampler. I'm going to cut that tag in half and then use the other piece somewhere else on my layout. So what I'm doing right now is just having a look at the pattern papers to see if there's anything else I can use out of here to kind of fussy cut or add. And these little borders are fantastic. These are from the Sweet and Spooky collection by Bella Boulevard. And I love that little bit of texture that it adds and a little bit of orange color to the base of the layout. And these pumpkins are just way too cute. Way too cute. So got to use that one. One of them has a purple bow on the top, so that's definitely the one I'm going to go for. It's kind of a girly little pumpkin. So I'm just fussy cutting that out. Remember that fussy cutting is a great way to get extra embellishment. And I'm going to set that on the border there. So this page is definitely coming together really well. Super happy about it. I am going to use this Heidi Swapp Emerson clear stamp, and I have a piece of scrap paper here and my little stamp mat that I love to use. I find that it gives me a really good stamped image. It's just an old piercing mat, and I always use a rubber before I stamp, and it kind of helps to get the ink to adhere to the clear stamp better. So the kind of eraser that I use is called a gum eraser, and you can find that at any art store. Just fussy cutting around these flowers here. Okay, now I just need to figure out my placement of the flowers and the leaves. I love that black and white of those flowers. It looks kind of spooky. That's the look I was going for, but you could definitely stamp that in a color and then watercolor on the inside, and it would be really gorgeous. So this journaling label is going to be perfect to hold my journaling. I'm going to go ahead and stamp that. I have just enough space left on this smooth white cardstock here. I don't know about you guys, but I always save these pieces of white cardstock for this kind of thing. And I use every last little bit of it. And I'm just going to trim this out. And I want to keep those cute corners, so I'm going to trim those. I would usually use a hole punch for this, but these are a bit bigger than my hole punch. So I used my scissors for that one. And I'm just going to tuck that there on top of the envelope. I'm just trying to figure out the placement of my leaves here. Okay, I need to stop fussing with the layout and just get it adhered. This is one thing I really love to do is I adhere my layers in place. So I hold one down, then adhere the bottom bit, hold the other piece down, adhere it, just so that they all stick to where I like them to be, and then I can adhere the whole thing together. So that's what you saw there. I'm going to cut this border in half so that I can have a bit at the bottom and a bit at the top, just to balance that out. And I'm going to put my little label down here at the bottom, add some dimensional adhesive to the top so that sticks up. And adhere this top bit up here. Now you can see I placed the orange leaf at the top, but that's already bothering me, and I'll tell you why. It is kind of sitting on top of my daughter's head, and when I glance at that layout, the first thing I see is that orange leaf. So this is what's cool about the envelope here. I'm going to put the second picture of my daughter eating her lolly in the envelope and add the So Much Candy die cut there. But you could add another photo on the back of that. You could add a lot of journaling. This envelope has so many possibilities. Just trying to get that on there so that goes in okay. How cool is that? I'm going to turn it around so that you still see the white. So this went from a 1 photo layout to a 2 photo layout, which I think is pretty cool. Just adhering this little flag here. And then my magic word, which is awesome because it's a sticker, so I don't have to use my own adhesive on that, which I love. I love these exclusives that you get in the samplers. They're so fun. Just trying to get that exactly where I want it on the page. I use every tiny little bit of my dimensional adhesive, so I'll cut little bits from the bottom and use those as well. I'm going to stick up my little pumpkin here. And then I have this extra piece from the tag. Now I'm going to cut this. I'm just going to do this all by hand and then make a little pennant. So I just cut the center and then I cut from corner to center 2 times and make a little pennant shape up there. I'm just going to use my tiny attacher here to add that on. Just seeing if there are any other stamps I can use on this little label because it's looking a bit plain. And the documented stamp is going to fit just perfectly. So I'm going to add that to there. And I think I should be good for stamping. I'm just going to add my date underneath the word documented. I don't think I can fit anything on the little pennant at the top. So these puffy stars, they're also by Bella Boulevard. I'm going to add a few of these around the page. That little heart says, hey baby, I think, and I'm going to put that at the top there. These stars are perfect. They match perfectly, and I love that they kind of go with the magic theme. I'm going to do one more up here. And the only thing I have to do after I add my date stamp is just add my journaling to that label, which I'm going to do in Photoshop Elements. So that's pretty much my page complete. I love this layout. I love that title. That exclusive magic word is so fun. And remember that you can use pattern paper to fussy cut to add to things like that. That documented tag holds my date perfectly, and I love the cute little jack-o'-lantern there. And how awesome is it that I was able to add another photo to the envelope on this layout? I just love that. It's so fun and it makes it more interactive. So this layout was super fun to make. Everything that you see here came from the sampler besides my white cardstock. Be sure to check out the link in the video notes to get all of the details about the SCT sampler, which comes to your door every month with brand new paper crafting goodies. Thanks so much and happy creating!